Okay, so Woman's World, May 24th, 2021. We're back at it again. Boy, these allergies are just... That bug went right down my throat and caused my eyes to burn. I could barely get my breath. But thank God I'm not singing for you tonight. Okay, speaking of singing, that's what we're getting into here. Healthy living. Quote, singing healed my lungs when COVID hung on. 3 steps to healing your lungs with the power of song. Studies show that singing can increase lung function by 50%, slash anxiety by 55%, and dramatically boost memory. And Tom Sweltzer, the co-founder of A Place to Be Music Therapy, aplacetobeva.com, has seen the benefits firsthand. Music therapy is a joyful tool for emotional and physical healing, he says. Here is his steps to singing your way to a healthier lung. First, pick a slow song. Lie on your back, choose a slow song, and let yourself just breathe along with the music, says Tom. Then, sing along. Take a deep breath at the beginning of each line and letting it out at the end. 2. Try a kid's tune. When you feel like you conquered that, move on to your favorite children's song like Mary Had a Little Lamb. Sing as much of it as you can in one breath. Tom says each day you're going to sing a little longer without having to breathe it in. 3. Get moving. Then choose a song with good walking rhythm and breathe along to it as you walk, Tom says. To challenge your lungs, sing it while you walk. This woman here says, I've come a long way, says Emma, her amazing recovery from COVID, a long hauler syndrome. When Emma McPherson was diagnosed as a COVID-19 long hauler last summer, she feared her shortness of breath and burning lungs would never go away until she found a free therapy, done in just 1 hour of a week, that healed her body and her spirit. Emma McPherson's eyes filled with tears as she pulled out a piece of paper and a pen, readying herself to write her final goodbye to her friends and family. I don't want to die, she thought. Hopelessness filled her heart as she struggled to find the words. It had been months since the Orange County New Yorker had contracted COVID-19. But from the day she began feeling sick, things had gone from bad to worse. It all started in March 2020, when Emma came down with a dry cough and what she thought was a stomach bug. Soon her cough had turned into shortness of breath and burning feeling in her lungs. By April, Emma's doctors had confirmed that she contracted COVID and begun treatment. But she battled new symptoms like chills and sweats and a racing heartbeat. Emma, who lived alone, had feared the worst. 5 months into her diagnosis, despite multiple treatments and her endless doctor visits, she was still fighting to breathe. Doctors had hoped that breathing exercises would help, but it was agony for Emma to do them. My lungs feel like they're on fire, she said after losing her voice, collapsing into a fit of coughing. In August 2020, doctors told her to schedule a virtual visit at Mount Sinai Hospital, which is where Emma was first classified as COVID long hauler, someone who has not recovered at months after COVID. There are so many like you, her doctor said, and after Emma explained the difficulty she had doing breathing exercises, the doctor suggested she try a virtual music therapy class to learn gentler breathing techniques. That doesn't sound too hard on my lungs, Emma hoped. Maybe singing is the key to my healing. Breathing free. Emma soon signed up for a 1-hour Zoom class with a music therapist, Tom Switzer, at tomswitzer.com. And that's spelled TOMSWEITZER.com. Tom, who was also a COVID long hauler, had set up the class for those like him. Asked participants in Emma's first class to raise their hands above their head and stretch as they breathed in and out. This is the most physical activity I've done in months, Emma realized with surprise. Then as participants introduced themselves, Tom shared songs for them to sing on mute, so no one had to be embarrassed, with simple melodies and short phrases like "What the world needs now is love" and "High hopes." Tom also played the piano and asked people to share their experiences with COVID as well as moments of hope in their days since being diagnosed. Emma was shocked that she sang and spoke through the whole class without losing her voice or feeling short of breath. She even felt anxiety lift. Amazed, Emma learned that there was a science to support her progress. Studies showed that the combination of movement, vocal exercises, and gentle breathing had dramatically improved her lung functioning in patients with similar breathing issues like COPD and asthma. Emma attended the class each week along with the respiratory therapy through the post-acute COVID-19 program. And today, her breathlessness and burning is all good, and she's able to sing most difficult songs. I've come such a long way, the 63-year-old says with a smile. I didn't think I'd make it, but now I'm 80% better. It's all thanks to Tom's class and the people in it, who with each step they took in their recovery gave me the hope that I will get back to 100%. Singing is helping me heal, not just my lungs, but my mind, heart, and soul. And the author is Alexandra Pollock. This next article is Ask America's Ultimate Experts. Help me feel more confident. We could all use an extra boost of can-do, and here are the experts sharing easy ways to do hard things and increase your joy, resilience, and well-being. The expert panel. Jennifer Shannon, the LMFT, author of Don't Feed the Monkey Mind, is a psychotherapist specializing in anxiety. More at jennifershannon.com. JenniferShannon.com. Louisa Jewell, MAPP, is the author of Wire Your Brain for Confidence and the host of The Awesome Project, a new Audible Originals podcast series. Catherine Tinsley is a PhD, an expert on gender intellectual leadership, as the faculty director of Georgetown University Women's Leadership Institute. Start small. Jumpstart action. While we tend to think that confidence spurs us to act, it's actually the other way around, says Action Boost Motivation, says expert Jennifer Shannon. That's why she suggests a 5-minute jumpstart. Take any task, even as simple as something as browsing a dating site, and set a timer for 5 minutes. This allows you to reward yourself for getting started, not getting it done. That's where confidence begins. You can do hard things. To increase grit, the passion and perseverance to set a long-term goal with just, quote, chunk, end quote, task into more manageable parts, says expert Louisa Jewell. For a long time, I believed I could never write a book, she says. So I started with a paragraph. Then I posted an article on a friend's blog. Every time you consciously tell yourself, I wrote a paragraph, I wrote an article, you're sending a message to your brain that short-circuits imposter syndrome by convincing yourself that you can do bigger things. Find clues in details. Rather than give quote-unquote luck credit, find your success, acknowledge that you moved the needle, urges Jewell. And if something went great, ask for feedback to learn what exactly made it go well, she says. Once you know, you can replicate that, building your confidence. The same principle applies to criticism. Getting specific feedback helps you focus on the process over the outcome, increasing your willingness to try again. Get inspired. Tap your think tank. We could all use a, quote, confidence clutch. A small group of friends to lean on, says Jewell, who meets with hers once a month and whom she credits with helping through her divorce. I remember a friend said to me, let's go for a walk. I'm seeing double. You doubt yourself and I don't think it's good for you. When it comes from someone you trust, you're much more open to advice that lifts you up. Call it play. It just sounds so simple, but just calling it a new challenge, quote-unquote, play or an experiment increases your can-do instantly. This opens you up to possibility, taking the stress off of your shoulders, explains Jewell. You're much more confident and assured when your brain is a positive place. See the happy future. Perhaps the most powerful way to boost your confidence is to reframe failure, says expert Catherine Tinsley, Ph.D. In a year-long field experiment she conducted with Tupperware, the sales force was given 2 different video messages. Half watched a video about a failure as a future success in disguise. The other half heard a more typical message about what a great place Tupperware is to work. After 6 months, the sales force heard that the future success message had 22% higher sales and 27% more productivity, says Tinsley. Just normalizing failure increases our desire to try, and that's what courage is, faking it until you feel it. Okay, moving forward. Okay, easy summer living. This is speed cleaning your car easily. No need to pay for a pricey commercial car wash or use chemical-laden cleaning products. These household staples get your car ready for that summer road trip fun and fast. Lift dust in seconds with a dryer sheet. To wipe away layers of dust and pollen on your dash and seats, just grab a dryer sheet. It's gentle enough not to scratch your dashboard, and it has static charge that traps the dust, says auto cleaning expert Diana Rodriguez Zaba of Service Master Restoration. If the leather seats require a deeper clean, combine 1/2 cup of olive oil and 1/4 cup of white vinegar in a spray bottle. Lightly spritz your seats, she suggests. Let it sit for 5 minutes, then wipe. Cloth seats will simply replace the olive oil with dish soap, which will lift the stains and residue instantly. Shine your windows with a produce bag. Ugh, that dirt, tree sap, and pollen have formed a dingy film on your windshield. The easy fix? Grab a mesh produce bag, the kind that onions and potatoes and lemons are all sold in, says Rodriguez Zaba. Spray your windshield with a hose, sprinkle on some baking soda, then bunch up that bag and gently scrub the edges of the netting. Combined with the mild abrasive of the baking soda will gently lift that stuck-on grime and debris. Get your tires gleaming with a mineral oil buff. Keep tires looking new with a simple DIY wax seal. In a spray bottle, combine 1 cup of mineral or baby oil, 1/2 cup of water, and 2 or 3 drops of liquid dish soap, says Rodriguez Zaba. Shake well and spritz generously into the tires. Then wipe with a clean cloth. This simple brew will clean your tires as well as seal them, repelling the dust and dirt the next time you go for a drive. Wax away grime with baby shampoo. The gentle way to wash your car, just pour 1/4 cup of your baby shampoo into a bucket of warm water, then use a large sponge to wipe the car's exterior and rinse it with a hose. Auto expert Christopher Atschall, the president of NSWash.com, says the shampoo won't strip the protective layers from your car, but it will bind to your dirt and grime, leaving your vehicle looking new. Outsmart odors with a charcoal sock. Make odors hit the road by tucking the charcoal into a sock and placing it in your cup holder. Charcoal absorbs smells and moisture, nixing mustiness. And add to infuse with a fresh scent, including whipping up an all-natural deodorizer, says Rodriguez Zaba. In a spray bottle, mix 1 cup of distilled water and 10 drops of essential oil of your choice and spray the interior. Okay, that Benadryl's really working, thank goodness. We have a cute cartoon here on page 47, Ancestor Church, and it shows 2 Roombas. You know, those are those little things that vacuum your house, and they're on the computer, and they found a vacuum, an upright vacuum. It says, hey look, great grandma was an upright. That's kind of cute. Okay, the Spirit Lifters, 7 days of inspiration. Take 1 day a week and feel great all week. Day 1, you are a dreamer, a decider, a survivor, and a thriver. Day 2, the little things still count and they still make a big difference. Day 3, thank goodness for the smiles in your eyes and the warmth in your heart. Day 4, dreams bloom when we believe. Day 5, angels know when we need them the most. Day 6, great things can and do happen every day. Day 7, see all the good in you do and others do. My Guardian Angel readers share their story of divine intervention. Visited by an angel. When Woman's World reader Louetta Barton was deeply missing her best friend Nani, she had a dream that put her heart at ease, she writes. Growing up in a very rural area, I attended a small country school for 8 years. My first 8 years, of learning. So when I moved on to high school in town, I didn't know very many kids. Not long after I started school, I met Nani. We hit it off and became especially close. After our second year, Nani got married, and although she left school, we never lost touch. Years went by, and when she and her husband retired, they moved back to our small rural area. We picked up right where we had left off. In time, Nani's health failed. She was divorced by then. I didn't have any family nearby, so I became her helper, running errands and doing small things for her. After a time, she went into a nursing home, and I continued to check on her. We would talk almost every evening around 7 p.m. The last call I heard from her, she wanted me to bring her sour cream donuts. 6 hours later, I got a call telling me that she had passed away. In the days after her passing, I thought about memories together and how much her friendship had meant to me. Life was hard without her, and I missed her deeply. About 7 months after her death, I had a dream. In the dream, I was working outside and decided to take a break. I just sat down when I looked up to see Nani coming across the street walking toward me. She was dressed in white shorts, a sunny yellow top, and her hair was cut short and light blonde. Her complexion was all still aglow. She was 30 again, absolutely beautiful, and looked so healthy. She sat down beside me. I took her hand and said, "You made it." At that moment she got up and walked through a door and was gone. I had been unable to cry at the time Nani's death, but when I woke after that dream, the tears started to roll. To me, this was a sign from my beloved Nani that she had visited me to let me know that she was okay. The angel expert Kyle Gray says, "Loved ones in heaven can visit us in dream state. The reason is we are in a place where we cannot be distracted or interrupted. It provides a perfect place for us to receive messages without us getting too overwhelmed by the experience. It is also very common to have a dream or a vision of a loved one in their younger form. I believe it's because once we leave this earth, we return to the time in our lives when we were the most happy and free. When we return to heaven, we all find the lost aspects of ourselves from the years of our earthly life, and we enter an incredible state of joy. Such case for Nani and what Louetta witnessed when her friend had visited her. The circle of kindness. Readers share little reminders of how much goodness there is in this world. Her kindness was so uplifting. After a year of staying home in quarantine, I decided it was time to update my wardrobe. I ordered a new outfit online, including a bright yellow purse. I also needed a haircut while I was getting my hair done. I told my stylist about the yellow purse and how excited I was about finally getting out. She immediately went out and found a bright yellow nail polish and gave it to me to match my purse. I wanted to pay for it, but she wouldn't let me. Her kindness was so uplifting. Jan King from Columbia, Tennessee. I was so grateful he was there. The other day I was walking home when I stopped by a crowd of people gathered in a large group. There was a stone wall on the other side and a busy street on the other. I'm physically disabled, so I really didn't want to have to walk back to the corner at the other end of the block to cross the street. Thankfully, as I was waiting for the group to move, a man came along. He realized my problem and, risking his own safety, he stepped out into the street and stopped traffic so I could get around the group blocking for the sidewalk. I didn't get his name, but I'm so grateful that he was there, and still a true gentleman exists in this world. Glenna Emerson from Penticon, BC, Canada. I feel so fortunate to have such a thoughtful neighbor. I live in North Florida, where moss gathers on almost all the trees. I have several large oak and dogwood trees in my yard. When I first moved to the area, I quickly discovered I couldn't get near the moss without breaking out in a rash. At one point, I mentioned this to my neighbor Bill and Nancy. Each day, Bill walks his sweet little dogs, BB and Lizzie. When they pass by my house, Bill always stops to pick up the fallen moss in my yard and driveway. This is such a huge help to me, and I feel so fortunate to have a wonderful, thoughtful neighbor. Marilyn E. Freeman from Live Oak, Florida. Okay, continuing on. A moment for you. You have everything you need to have a beautiful day. You wake up with whatever it takes to handle any challenge that comes your way, more than enough hope and dreams to lead and light your way. And with the courage and creativity to overcome any challenge that stands in your way, you've got this. Here's a 5-minute romance, which is exactly how long romance lasts. It's called Special Delivery. When Mailman's Eric favorite customer Deborah finds herself with a mailbox disaster, he seizes the opportunity to help and delivers a chance at new love. When I round the turn onto Osage Road, I see Deborah Jenkins plunging a shovel into the soil at her rural mailbox. I take a deep breath, trying not to look nervous, and pull up my mail truck to stop next to her. What happened? She gestures at a large tree nearby. That oak tree tried to kill my mailbox. A large limb lay in the ditch behind her. She leans on her shovel and wipes her forehead with a gloved hand. A mail carrier knows a lot about the people on his route. Take Mrs. Jenkins, for example. AARP, the magazine, started arriving a few months ago, which tells me she's my age. She gets lots of mail from the animal welfare groups, and the same car dealership where I bought my car sends her reminders for the service. In fact, her mail looks just like mine, with the exception that an envelope addressed to a Mr. has never darkened her mailbox door, which tells me she's single. We have a wavering relationship. She often bounces out of her house about the time I drive up, smiling and waving. I never miss a chance to wave back, but her house is 200 feet from the mailbox, so I can't linger, no matter how I may want to. But today is different. It doesn't look as if the patient is getting any better. I smile. It may be terminal, she agrees. Her return smile is radiant as the sun. Guys, I'll be right back, so don't go anywhere. Part 1 of 2.